MLB opening week is presented by PNC Bank. And tonight it's game 2 of the opening 4-game series to the 2024 season. The Pirates and the Miami Marlins. 12 innings last night. The Pirates defeat the Fish 6-2. The Pirates are down 5-2 in the 7th. Came back. Greg Brown, John Wehner, and Hannah Mears will be along. And what a win it was for the Pirates last night. They didn't want to suffer a loss at the hands of the Fish. They did not. They came battling back. And John, all kinds of heroes in this one. Let's talk in particular about O'Neill Cruz, the home run in the top of the 8th inning that would tie the game.
Yeah, it was an action-packed game, and O'Neill Cruz, though, was in that game for the first time in almost a year, and this is what he does. He impacts the game with one swing of the bat. Pretty quiet up until then, gets a pitch up and out over the plate and comes through in a big way. The big game-tying homer late in the ball game.
A ball that he didn't necessarily nail that ball and drive it to right field, hit that opposite field home run. How about the Pirates defensively, John? They were all over the place, and I know you love talking about defense.
Ke'Bryan Hayes, I'm telling you what, is unbelievable, but everybody out there made a ton of plays yesterday, but Ke'Bryan Hayes started it with the bat. First inning, he hits the ball off the end of the bat for a double, stays on another breaking pitch, slaps it up the middle, and don't forget the pop-up, almost out of play. He's reaching into that net, able to get another out, and then this here smash looked like it was a double. Nope, just a routine one-hopper for Ke'Bryan Hayes.
And later in the game, Connor Joe over there at first base would sacrifice his body in a great play to save a run. Hey, have faith in the pen. That's what the Pirates did last night in their victory. 6-5 was the final. We'll continue from Miami coming up next. Pirate fans ready for the Bucks and the Marlins, game 2. An exciting first game of the season. Last night, the roof was closed. Tonight, it is open. It's a rarity here. And not rare as seeing good Pirates defense. John, we talked about it moments ago, but here's some more of these plays we got the chance to watch last night, led by Ke'Bryan Hayes, the Gold Glover.
And it's not just going to be Ke'Bryan Hayes. It's going to be all around the infield and the outfield. Nice little turn here. Triolo to Cruz, and then Connor Joe. How does he stay on the bag? Very impressive. Henry Davis behind the plate has been rock solid all spring long. Nice block there with a runner on third. And you can't win without pitching. And the bullpen was absolutely outstanding. 6 1/3 scoreless.
Yeah, David Bednar was not available last night. We're told he is available tonight, and they may need him. They'll certainly need the starter, Martin Perez.
Yes, and he has been really good with the Pirate uniform on this spring. 15 innings, just 1 earned run, 157 opponent average for a guy. Not a very hard thrower, just kind of sinker, cutter, change up. But boy, he's deceptive and very tough to pick up and tough to hit.
We'll be back for the Marlins and the Bucks here in Miami.
South Beach, bringing the heat. I don't only came for 2 days of playing, but every time I come I always wind up staying. This the type of town I can spend a few days in. Miami, the city that keeps the roof blazing.
Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
Party in the city where the heat is on.
MLB opening week is presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. By McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. By Cohen Markets, where you save on fuel, food, and more every day. And by your Western PA Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. And here we are, back for game 2 of the 4-game opening series. 1 week from today, the Pirates open up their home schedule at PNC Park, the home opener against the Orioles. Andrew McCutchen having some fun there with O'Neill Cruz. Well, what a great team win for the first game of the season. Everybody seemed to make some contribution to that victory.
It was action-packed for sure. A great win. Nice to see them come back. They continue to hit the long ball. They make big plays on defense. The bullpen, obviously, a big story. And that man there, Andrew McCutchen, he's talked about it, playing some small ball to be able to win these close games.
And the win went to an unlikely pitcher because Luis Ortiz, we weren't sure about him in spring training. That velocity that had been down last year and really didn't pick up all that much in spring training, where it looked like he was going to be, and was for a while, stretched out as a starter, ended up being used out of the bullpen last night. 2 very strong innings, scoreless for the win, 2 unintentional walks, or intentional walks rather, and got the win, and that velocity was up.
Yeah, we saw 99, which is beautiful to see. You get away with a lot more when you have that great velocity. We saw it his first year in the big leagues, touching triple digits, and so not so much last year. The bullpen, yeah, you expect a little bit of a spike. So, yeah, that was nice to see. A couple of strong innings from him, and
Jose Hernandez. There he is.
I mean, that's
his first save in the big leagues.
That was something else.
He was, 1, 2, 3. In that 12th inning during his first major league save for a guy that didn't know. He was in Indianapolis, literally in Indianapolis, expecting to start the season at AAA. When he got the call, Roansy Contreras goes on that paternity leave list. And with David Bednar not available, it was the lefty Jose Hernandez who got his first major league save. Ryan Baracki. As we said, everybody seemed to play a role.
And what's interesting is these Marlins a year ago, 33 and 14 in one-run games. They only won 84. 33 one-run wins, and so it's important to be able to pull out those types of games. They barely got in as a wild card team last year, but mostly due to winning those close ones.
Well, how about the strategy here? And we'll get to the pitcher in a moment, but this is the lineup. The lefty will be facing Connor Joe, Brian Reynolds, Key Brian Hayes, 1, 2, 3. Andrew McCutchen hits cleanup once again. Edward Olivares, who had a big pinch hit home run in his Pirates debut, will get the start in right field. Henry Davis, we followed by O'Neill Cruz, Jared Triolo, and Michael A. Taylor against A.J. Puck, who makes his first major league start.
Yeah, interesting. The 6'7" lefty, the hard-throwing lefty, out of the bullpen a year ago with an ERA just under 4 in 58 games. They move him to the rotation. He was a starter at one time, coming up in the minor leagues with the Oakland A's, but you don't see this very often. A guy that's been spending his big league career as a reliever getting moved to the rotation.
And we take a look at the Marlins defense presented by Phil De La Sente and Associates. It is Jazz Chisholm in center field. Brian De La Cruz is in left. Aviseo Garcia is in right field with Jonah Bride at third, Jake Berger at first. The middle infielders, Tim Anderson and Luis Arraez, and Christian Bethencourt behind the plate for A.J. Puck. Skip Schumacher, rookie skipper last year, National League Manager of the Year. Marlins 84 and 78, as John mentioned. The 28-year-old from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. How about that? Back-to-back nights we have 2 Cedar Rapids Iowans pitching in a big league game. Mitch Keller last night and A.J. Puck for the Marlins tonight. And a strike on Connor Joe, 0 for 4 with 2 walks last night at the plate, and that sensational defensive play at first base that saved a run.
The big sweeper, pretty much all he threw as a reliever. He was a 2-pitch guy. The fastball, mid-90s, and the big sweeper.
There's Mitch Keller. Talked to him before the game. He said that the Puck family, very well known in Cedar Rapids. He went to a rival high school. Puck did, Washington High School in Cedar Rapids. And gets the strikeout. The one-time closer.
And he's just so long, too. It looks like he's just handing it to the catcher. That is a big sweeper. Starts way off the plate, breaks straight down the middle. Connor a little out in front.
Strike called. Brian Knight behind the plate, the umpiring crew. Right where Bethencourt had that mitt. Puck was the primary closer for Miami. After he was acquired from the A's, they were right smack dab in the middle of their rebuild. J.J. Bleday went from Miami to Oakland. Puck missed a lot of May with nerve irritation in his elbow. Started 14 out of 16 in saves with a 2.77 ERA, but then really struggled in July. Was taken out of that role. Bounced back the last couple of months of the season. But they decided in December that they were going to stretch him out and he'd go back to starting games. What with Sandy Alcantara out after undergoing Tommy John surgery. A little roller. And Berger, who was at third base last night, unassisted, 2 outs.
Yeah, you wonder with a guy like Puck, how many innings can you give him? How long can he go? Is he gonna?
I guess he's been stretched out. They figure, what, he's last time out spring training, 85 pitches.
I'm thinking
But
more
yeah,
along.
I know this is the up and downs that they say. You know.
I'm thinking along lines of innings pitched.
Yeah.
You know. I mean,
right.
How many more than say 100 innings can you go?
Yeah. For the year, pitches down low 2-0 on Hayes, who last night a couple of hits, including a first inning double. Walked twice. Two and one. Well, they knew coming into this season Alcantara was going to be out, and then as spring training rolled on, Edward Cabrera out till at least mid-April, right shoulder impingement, and lefty Braxton Garrett rather, out until mid to late May. Left shoulder soreness for him. Eri Perez out till early May with right elbow inflammation. So patchwork rotation for the Marlins. And he draws a walk with 2 outs. Brings up Andrew McCutchen.
Patient at bat for Ke'Bryan.
Rough night for Andrew McCutchen. Other than the walk in the first inning, he would go on to strike out 4 times over his next 5 at bats. He did pick up a 7th inning RBI with a ground out. It was his 768th Pirates RBI, which is 8th on the all-time Pirate Ribby list. That's 22 behind Gus Surr, longtime Pirates first baseman. That's sitting on 299 homers, and it's 0-2.
Again, the big bender. Just a bit off that plate in.
McCutchen sent out a tweet last night after the game. Simply said, well, at least we won. A smiling emoji.
Can't imagine he's done that very often.
To be exact, it says, well, ... we won at least, LOL, go Bucks. Andrew McCutchen. Playable. Bethancourt. Martin Perez will make his Pirates debut. There's last year's batting champion, Luis Arraez. Back-to-back batting championships for him. The lineup: Luis Arraez will be followed by Josh Bell, who's the DH tonight. Jake Berger and Brian De La Cruz. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is in center field. Then it's Tim Anderson, Avisail Garcia, and Jonah Bride, with Christian Betancourt hitting ninth. And Martin Perez, at least in spring training, looked like he was going to fit nicely into this rotation. A heck of a job. Veteran lefty, and he doesn't waste any time.
Yep, he gets it and throws it, and these are your Pennsylvania State Lottery numbers. 20 starts a year ago, 10-4 record, a 4.45 ERA. Doesn't strike out a lot of hitters, but pretty impressive, his fastball. You'll see 89, 90, 91, but it gets on the hitters. It has deception, and it gets on them. A lot of late swings.
Grounded to the first baseman, Connor Joe. That's pretty much Perez's game. Check out the rest of the defense. Brought to you by Levin Furniture and Mattress. Jared Triolo alongside Joe on that right side. Cruz and Hayes on the left side. Brian Reynolds in left. Michael A. Taylor in center. Edward Olivares is the right fielder tonight. And Henry Davis catches for the second straight game. No surprise. And O'Neill Cruz back at short, and Josh Bell had quite a game at the plate and defensively, throwing the ball accurately.
3 assists last night, late in the game. I think all in extra innings.
Yeah. Pirates had runners thrown out in the 10th, 11th, and 12th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Josh Bell. Was on base 4 times. Couple of hits, the former Pirate.
Right there, it's a 1-1 pitch. Josh Bell, good fastball hitter. Gets a fastball right down the middle at 92. He can't get a swing off. It's on him before he can get his swing off.
Switch hitter Josh Bell, 22 homers last year with Cleveland and Miami. Came over in a late summer trade. Perez thinking that was a strike. '244th major league start. Made his big league debut in 2012. And of course, praising the defense as we did. Error on Brian Hayes.
Seems like forever we've seen him miss a ground ball. His errors, most of them have been the throwing variety. This one, it looked like it was rolling to him. The ball's rolling. At the very end, comes up. Gets between that top hand and the glove hand.
Just shocking when you see that from him.
He never makes fielding errors.
Nope. Well, Jake Berger. Berger hit 5th last night against Mitch Keller. Very productive night for Berger.
Well, you'd love to get that call all night. That's fastball just off that inside edge. Presented well by Henry Davis.
You know, Hayes wants another one right now.
Yeah, just a little bit of a tricky hop, a little
Came up just enough.
One ball, 2 strikes on Berger.
I could be mistaken, but for whatever reason, I think that maybe all but maybe one of his errors last year were thrown.
I think so. Make a total of 6 all of last year. He is going to get another one. Baseball's an amazing game. Amazing game. Double play. Last night, Edward Olivares came to the plate as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning against Andrew Nardi, the left-hander of the Marlins, and hit his first Pirate homer, his first at bat.
Towering shot too. That was way gone on a pretty decent fastball up middle in.
His lone at bat. Jack Sawinski would be inserted in the outfield in that position. 2-0 the count now on Olivares, facing A.J. Puck. Henry Davis, O'Neill Cruz follow. Puck had a 2-out walk in the first, and then got Andrew McCutchen a foul out. Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone, and he did not get that call. Olivares acquired over the winter by the Pirates from the Royals. And it's ball 4. Leadoff free pass. Bring up Henry Davis.
Already 2 walks to the first 5 batters. The one thing he has showed as a reliever is good command. He only walked 13 last year in 56 2/3 innings. 2 already tonight.
Henry Davis outstanding behind the plate. Just 1 hit last night, but lined out sharply in the 9th inning with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Jake Berger was playing third last night, but a nice play on him.
Yeah, he had a couple balls hard. No luck, I guess, except for the infield base hit.
62 games in the big leagues last year for Henry Davis. Three and one. John mentioned the walks last year for Puck. Great control.
Just up high enough. Henry Davis was looking for it, couldn't connect.
And he walks back-to-back hitters to start the second inning. And that's going to prompt the visit. The pitching coach, Mel Stottlemyre Jr. Of those 13 walks in just under 57 innings, 2 of those were intentional for Puck last year. Opening weekend at PNC Park, we mentioned, kicks off with a home opener on Friday against the Orioles. 1 week from today. That goes through Sunday, April the 7th. First 3 games of the year, the weekend, and then the Tigers in for 2. Join us for opening weekend at PNC Park. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. Bucks and Baltimore Orioles. 4:12 start next Friday. A 4:05 start Saturday afternoon on April the 6th, and then the 1:35 start on Sunday the 7th. 2 on.
You're going to wonder with this guy, you know, it was averaging almost 96 miles per hour last year out of the pen. And we saw the last fastball was 91. And being just a 2-pitch guy,
in the air to left, dropping and drops in front of the left fielder De La Cruz, and they're loaded. O'Neill Cruz drops one into left. Bases loaded for Jared Triolo.
You'll take it. You know, he ties him up and in, just muscles it out there to the left. And the reason I was talking about just the 2-pitch guy, his breaking ball is so big and slow. You know, as a left-handed batter, if it's not in the zone, you're going to recognize it early. An easier pitch to lay off of than, say, a harder slider. And if you're not commanding the fastball,
well, you're in trouble.
And that goes for righties as well.
Yeah. A strike on.
Just catching that inside edge.
Infield at double play depth with nobody out. Triolo, one of those heroes last night. A game-winning hit in the 12th. Two and one, and Puck a little frustrated. This has to be such a weird feeling for Puck.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, well, he's done it before, as recently as 3 years ago, but yeah,
not in the big leagues, though, right?
No. I'm curious to see how this is going to work out for him this year.
3 and 1.
Because again, yeah, the breaking ball is recognizable early, and you take it if it's not in the zone. It's, you know, it's going to be a ball. It's not a big chase pitch, especially before 2 strikes. And the fastball command's going to have to be excellent.
Wow. Bases loaded walk. 1-0. 4 walks for Puck. RBI Triolo. Olivares scores. Davis goes to third. Cruz to second. Still nobody out.
I mean, that's just, 90 miles per hour. I don't know if he was just trying to take something off. But you got to realize, too, these bullpens, there was a lot of usage.
Yeah.
Both of these bullpens in last night's game.
Wow.
And I don't know if he, because of the velocity, if he's trying to throw a cutter or just like maybe just taking off a little bit like a BP fastball or something, but really coming out of his hand weird.
And they've already had one pitching coach visit. Oh, and a chase from Michael A. Taylor, who got his first Pirate hit in his Bucco debut. That was a 7th inning single. He would later score in that 7th inning. And he calls time. He is home, Michael A. Taylor, in Fort Lauderdale. And a high fly ball to left. This will bring home another run as De La Cruz makes the catch. O'Neill Cruz going to try to advance, and he is thrown out on a double play. 2-0, but Cruz thrown out at third. Davis scores.
I mean, pretty routine fly ball to left. You know he has no shot at home, but it's not a very long throw for the left fielder. You know, unless something crazy happens to where maybe he's running, away from the infield and maybe up against the wall, you might try that. But that ball just wasn't hit deeply enough to try to advance there.
And now Connor Joe struck out his first time. Jared Triolo advanced to second. But now 2 outs.
That's a really big out for the Marlins in more ways than one. Not just because of preventing more runs, but we're 45 pitches.
Yeah, puck off the hook a little bit. That's why it's a
they're trying to get as many outs out of him as possible. You just gave him one.
Yeah. Block again by Bethancourt. Two and two. And bounce to second. And on to first. So a little bit of a break for puck, but the Pirates do score 2. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Go to the bottom of the second here in Miami. Let's take a look at our PNC Bank details, which shows us the Pirates free agent signings since last season. And of course, Martin Perez, one of them, along with Aroldis Chapman, Josh Fleming, Yasmani Grandal on the injured list. Andrew McCutchen returned. He was a free agent, came back again. Hunter Stratton have been taken off the roster. Michael A. Taylor and Rowdy Tellez. And Brian De La Cruz, a strike is called, and already the home plate umpire Brian Knight is hearing it from the Marlins dugout. Other umpires: Gabe Morales at first, Ryan Addison at second, Chris Guccione at third base. Ball's behind De La Cruz, 2-1. De La Cruz hit third and DH'd last night, was 1 out of 6. Three and 1. De La Cruz, Jazz Chisholm, Tim Anderson, 4, 5, 6 here in the second inning. Line to left on the 3-1 pitch. Chisholm comes to the plate. We go downstairs to Hannah Mears. Hannah?
Well, Greg, when Martin Perez is spending time trying to perfect his craft on the mound, he's at home preparing to be a father of 4. Martin and his wife Maria are expecting twins, and check out this gender reveal party the other day where they found out that they were going to be blessed with a boy and a girl. When I asked him if he's up to the challenge of having 4 kids in the household, he said, I'm a family guy and I think it's great to have kids because I want to have a big family. So this is a big, big blessing for us. And Greg, I have no doubt that Martin will be able to handle all of those kids running around the house, because yesterday his son came down to the dugout and brought over items for him to sign for other kids and was just so proud of his dad. And Martin stood there and signed every single one. It was awesome to see.
He's a great guy. Hannah, thanks for that. Hannah Mears, no doubt. And Melina and Martin Jr. with twins, siblings, coming soon. 1-1 on Chisholm. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Big power, lots of speed. And it looks like he wants to turn on the fastball. That last fastball was about a foot inside that he offered.
He calls time. Strikeout number 1 for Perez. 1 down here in the second. Brings up Tim Anderson.
This pitch, thought it was a breaking ball. Watching the replay, it looked like maybe just changeup that stayed in, maybe touching the inside corner.
Oh, got a good piece of Henry Davis.
Crazy to see a 582 OPS for Tim Anderson.
Pulled badly there. Yeah, Tim Anderson. Talked about last night, the American League batting champion for the White Sox 2019.
And you'll see occasional curveball from Perez.
Anderson's Marlins debut last night, his first at bat, was an opposite field RBI double. Yes, he did. Henry Davis, the quick ask. Dave Morales rings him up.
Getting some chases. Got the chase with Chisholm up there. That changeup well off the plate away, about a foot.
Now he faces the veteran Avisail Garcia. Sharply hit to Triolo. A nice job by Ryan Addison, the umpire, to get out of the way. Bucks up 2-0, top of the third. T-Mobile customers get free MLB.TV. Redeem now through April 1st at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Something to smile about here, Bucco fans. Leading 2-0, and here's Brian Reynolds, who grounded out his first time up. Asked him about that home run that he hit last night. You and I were talking about it, John, in the third inning, his first home run, of course, of the year. Gave the Pirates a 2-0 lead. Asked him if he knew it was gone, and of course, deadpan. That country twang, yeah. 2-1. And then he made the catch in right field to end the game, which was weird. He said, yeah, it was weird. It's the first catch in right field I've had since, what, 2000, the last time he played a little bit of right was, I think, maybe a little bit in 2019. 2-2. No go.
Again, that big breaking ball. Hitters recognize it. Couldn't get the chase. And I think, you know, with him coming out of the bullpen, his size, the 6'7", the reach, I mean, you're not seeing that very often. So facing him once a game could be much more effective than facing him 3 times a game. And that's why I think it's interesting. Like, what's this going to look like? How is this going to work?
I also wonder, John, what precipitated the change anyway from starter to bullpen?
That's a great question. I mean, I can understand if all these injuries happened recently,
right?
You know, but You say they decided in December.
But why was he a starter back in the day? What precipitated the move to bullpen and now this change?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty common. You see it often where minor league starters become relievers. A lot of the reason is because they don't have an effective third pitch.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a pitch that can get both righties and lefties out multiple times. You know, they have good enough stuff, and in Puck's case, certainly a good enough fastball and breaking ball to be really good out of the bullpen. But can he be really good out of, you know, facing the same guys 2 and 3 times without a third pitch?
He's just walked his 5th batter already. Ke'Bryan Hayes, the first man who walked against him in the first inning. And he's a big man, 6'7", 248. I mentioned he went to rival high schools. He went to Washington High School in Cedar Rapids. Last night's Pirates starter, Mitch Keller, went to Xavier High School in Cedar Rapids. And Puck was the big name. This big man. He was, everybody knew about him, and that's a fair ball. Down the line and left. It's going to kick around into the corner, and Reynolds is going to be waved home. And Brian Reynolds will score on the Ke'Bryan Hayes double. It's 3-0.
And you figure Puck is going to face mostly right-handed batters. So everything that he throws that isn't a fastball is going to be breaking into the barrel of the bat. And right there, that breaking ball down and in. Ke'Bryan Hayes so good at keeping his hands inside the ball to where a lot of hitters might hook that foul. He stays through it, hits it right on that foul line. Another extra base hit for him. Adding up an RBI as well.
Ke'Bryan Hayes, his first ribby of the young campaign. RBI chance for McCutchen.
This is the very left side.
Oh,
right
yeah.
On the chalk.
Great shot. HN Supermo look.
And to add to the fact that with Puck being in bullpen, again, 95, 96, we're in the 3rd inning and he's throwing 91.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
91 to 93. It's a different pitcher.
Yeah. Like he wasn't thrilled with the call to try to pick off Hayes. Went through the motions. Hayes at second with nobody out. Wow. Missing badly a number of times. Wild pitch has Hayes at 3rd.
And again, maybe he's throwing a cutter or trying to throw a cutter or maybe a changeup, because every time he misses with this wild one up, it seems to be right around 90. So maybe it's not the regular fastball. But I know every pitch that he's thrown wild like that has been right at 90.
Infield shortens up. And McCutchen, another walk. This is incredible. 6 walks. He's faced 13 Pirates, and he's walked 6 of them.
11 last year. 11 walks. That's insane.
And now maybe buy the bullpen some time. Mel Stottlemyre Jr., pitching coach. We do get Brian hoeing up.
You think you're looking at it, if you get Puck out of there 3 or less, I mean, that's 6 more innings this bullpen's going to have to cover, which is going to affect them obviously the rest of the series.
And now a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
sells Lazy Boy for less than Levin.
Brian Hayes, the RBI double, brought home Brian Reynolds from first, moved to third on the wild pitch. McCutcheon walks, and Edward Olivares, who walked to start the second. And again had that pinch hit home run last night, his first Pirates at bat. Infield try to turn two if they get a ground ball. And ball one. Olivares, 28 years old, from Venezuela.
Gets a borderline pitch. The last 9 batters that have come up for the Pirates, they're combined 2 for 3.
Huh. He hasn't thrown a strike yet this at bat.
One of his better breaking balls there. It's in the hitting zone a whole lot, almost the whole flight, and just breaks off.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
You know, think of another tall lefty, like a guy like Randy Johnson. Taller, of course, threw harder, but his breaking ball was like a hard slider.
In on his hands, going to drop in for another hit. 4-0. Edward Olivares, a perfect Pirate so far. On base 3 times in 3 plate appearances, 2 hits and 2 ribbies.
Up and in fastball, just fight it off. He fights it off. Sounds like that bat may have cracked, but who cares? It's a hit and an RBI.
And that's going to be it for Puck. You take a look at the RBI single for Edward Olivares. Pirates have a 4-0 lead and no one out in the third.
Edward Olivares just drove in the run to make it 4-0 Buccos. And Olivares had himself quite a night last night as well, as he drove in a home run, being the first Pirate since Brian Hayes back in 2020 to hit a home run in his team debut with a pinch hit blast in the 7th inning yesterday. Olivares told me that moment was an amazing feeling, and he felt relaxed and was able to get a good swing on the ball. And after he made contact impact. He said he knew it was hit hard, but that moment he realized it was a homer, he felt so much relief and happiness because he worked on his swing and timing a lot this spring and put a focus on being more concentrated. So now he feels like it's all setting in. He also said that defensively, playing with the other outfielders all spring has felt like one big family. So Greg, he's certainly having a lot of fun being a Pittsburgh Pirate.
And you have to like his attitude too, Hannah, because you know when they acquired Michael A. Taylor, Olivares, for the most part, was going to be, to a degree, an odd man out. Strike is called on Henry Davis. Brian Hoeing on in relief, facing a former teammate at the University of Louisville. And Henry Davis, who walked in the second against Puck. And Bethencourt, who's been very busy, keeps it close enough. McCutcheon and Olivares hold their ground.
Yeah, that slider somehow slips right between his legs. That's a tough one to pick up when you're on second base. Sometimes you're not sure how far it dribbled behind the plate.
Double play possibility. Safe at first. Anderson to Araz. They get the man at second, Olivares, but Davis able to beat the rap at first.
Never have to worry about him running hard through the bag at first base. You know, most of the time that's a routine double play ball, but Henry Davis, pretty good speed for a catcher and always running hard. Doesn't even look.
I was going to say, how many players do you see? I don't remember the last player I've seen who did that, who doesn't turn and look at least once.
Yeah.
Straight ahead.
So that's big. By beating that out, you get O'Neill Cruz up there with runners in the corners. Big, couple of big holes on the right side for O'Neill. .23 numbers for Hoeing. He started a bit, 33 games, a 5.48 ERA. Opponent's hitting .259 against him, mostly sinker slider. That's the slider. When you see that shorter breaking ball, and that's what I was talking about with A.J. Puck, that shorter, sharper breaking ball, harder to recognize out of the hand than the big, looping, slower breaking ball that a guy like A.J. Puck throws up there. It's kind of the point I was going to make about Randy Johnson. Now, Randy Johnson was taller and threw harder, of course, but, you know, if he had a bigger breaking ball and wasn't locating it, I think it'd be easier to recognize, easier to lay off. But he threw a really hard, you know, tight slider that you didn't see out of the hand. With Puck's breaking ball, you see it early. And so he got a lot more chase, Johnson did, than, say, a guy like Puck.
Still 1-2 on Cruz. Home run last night, tied the game. That's a big strikeout for Hoeing.
Just swinging over top of it. There's that late movement.
Triolo, bases loaded walk last inning. Play to drop, and a throw to first, still going to get him.
Wow.
Mraz had all kinds of problems. Recovered and still threw out Triolo. Pirates get a couple, lead 4-zip. Four 0 Pirates. The broken bat. And a little crazy play at the end.
And you see that ball gets in on him, and you kind of get confused when that happens. And actually, it looked like the ball hit off the bat twice. And so then with Rice unable to catch it in the air. And because Triolo, I don't think, saw where that ball went in the batter's box, got a late break. Did you notice it? It looked like the ball hit the bat two different spots.
I just saw on the replay, yeah,
which is
wild.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
Two balls and a strike. Jonah Bride getting the start. Came over in a deal with Oakland in February. Eighth in the order.
Ooh. Again, that sneaky fastball. If it's on the plate, I think he locks him up. I don't think he gets a swing off. Kind of protecting up there with two strikes. Zips it in there.
First walk for Perez. His first Pirate start, signed as a free agent this winter, will turn 33 next Thursday from Bunare, Venezuela. Originally signed as an international free agent by the Texas Rangers. Popped up. Olivares. Bethencourt is the first out of this third inning. Perez made his major league debut with the Rangers in 2012. Spent a year in Minnesota, a couple seasons with the Red Sox. 2-0.
Without a hit. Guy that hit .354 last year. 0 for 7 to start this season. He hit .400 for quite a while last year.
Triolo, a quick play to get the out there. The lead man, 2 outs. Check out the Bucks Flex plan. You can purchase 10 or 20 ticket vouchers. Use however, whenever you want. Vouchers can be redeemed in advance to lock in seats, or you can wait until game day. Get your Bucks Flex plan and learn more at pirates.com/flex. Perez gets another ground ball out and faces Josh Bell. Bell hit that ball on the ground to Ke'Bryan Hayes in the first inning. Hayes had it go under his glove for an error, but then the next batter, Jake Berger, bounced the ball to Hayes for an inning-ending double play. Another block by Henry Davis.
Not only blocked it, he was able to corral it. And if the runner Arise would have went anywhere over there, he would have had a shot at him. But Arise just took a secondary lead and stayed right there. So no sense making a throw. Pulled their cut fastball, just kept running in on him.
Looks like it's headed toward the seats. Connor Joe gave chase. Josh Bell, selected by the Pirates in 2011. Martin Perez, again signed out of Venezuela by Texas. Last year went to the World Series. The world champion Texas Rangers, who won their opener last night over the Cubbies in 10 innings. Count even on Bell.
Couple of change-ups, 1-2. He tried to get a chase, just left a little low. That one held on to a little too long.
Walks his second of the inning. And he'll face Jake Berger. .142 innings last year, 49 walks for Perez. Davis out to talk with him. Great spring training for Perez. 15 innings, 1 earned run. Should be a good fit for PNC Park. Pirates seem like they've been trying to acquire more lefties in recent years. Jake Berger hit into the double play to end the first. And grounds this into left. And this will score a run. An RBI single for Berger. Marlins on the board. It's 4-1.
Well, even Key Brian Hayes couldn't get to this one as he comes right in there with a fastball at 92. Hit hard through that hole. A rise going on contact. No chance at the plate.
Second hit given up by Perez. Those walks again.
Yeah, you kind of worry about that. You know, pitching well, got a nice 4-run lead. Want to make them earn their way on.
Loss on a strike.
Able to pick up that changeup. Threw it a couple times to Josh Bell. He was able to lay off. A couple here to De La Cruz. Not even a flinch.
And off the glove of Hayes. And the bases are loaded. Sharply hit.
And you'll see the high hop. You know, just over. I don't know if it hit that cut or just beyond that cut of the turf there. And a wicked hop that comes up. Hits him almost in the chest. You'll see it here. He's anticipating that ball to come up about belt high. It comes up about 6-8 inches higher. Tough one to handle.
A base hit for De La Cruz off of Key Brian Hayes. Loads them up for Jazz Chisholm. And 2-0.
Perez worked him in like off the plate and got a couple chases. One in there again.
Oh boy. Oh. Perez slow to get over, and Joe had to scramble to get there. 4-1. Welcome to the Toyota RAV fourth inning. Jake Berger, RBI single, gets the Marlins on the board, the first baseman, and now Ryan Hoeing, who relieved A.J. Puck, begins the fourth against the 9-man in the order for the Pirates, Michael A. Taylor. A.J. Puck goes 2+, gives up 4 runs on 3 hits, walked 6. Taylor had a sac fly in that second inning. That'll be followed by Connor Joe and Ryan Reynolds. Hoeing started a game last year against the Pirates in June. Taylor sends one deep to center field, nearing the wall and off the top of the padded wall. Taylor into second base with a long double.
Boy, that was well struck. And he has pop. You think center field, you think speed, you don't think as much about power, but two-seam fastball, boy, is that a nice swing. To hit that up the middle, that pitch that ends up on the inner third, almost on the inside corner, and to hit it that hard, that deep, just a few feet away from another homer.
Connor Joe has struck out and grounded out. Well, Michael A. Taylor, second game as a Pirate, and tonight a sac fly and a double, and a fly ball to left. 1 out. Talking with Luis Ariz there at second base. Reynolds, bat left-handed now against the righty Hoeing.
It's got to be nice for a guy like Brian Reynolds, and I think O'Neal Cruz as well. You know, getting to see righties. You have 4, 5 starters that are left-handed to start the year. You like to see some righties, especially if you're a switch hitter like Reynolds or a left-handed bat like Cruz.
Yeah, it's got to help them, no doubt, early on. Blocked by Bethancourt. Hoeing pitched 5 scoreless innings against the Pirates in June last year. A lot of talk about the fact that McCutchen is sitting on 299 career homers and taking off right away for third, and well done, Michael A. Taylor. Head down, dirt ball read.
That's a great read. He sees it kick away far enough to the catcher's right to where it's worth the risk with 1 out. And not much hesitation there from Taylor.
Two and two. A foul tip for the strikeout.
So much downward movement to this breaking ball from Hoeing. It just disappears. Not kind of the traditional slider that kind of breaks more east and west. A lot of north-south movement.
Ball 1 on Hayes. So Reynolds not able to bring in that runner from third. Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone. I was going to say that Reynolds is sitting on 99 homers after he went deep last night. McCutcheon on deck at 299, and Hoeing looks like he's going to get out of it, and he will. Lead off double by Taylor. Pirates lead 4-1. Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Pirates at MLBshop.com. Their Pirates are leading 4-1 in Miami. Game 2 of 4. We'll see if Martin Perez doesn't have a better, quicker fourth inning. Third was laborious. Trouble firing strikes, and he delivers ball 1, and now 1-1 on Tim Anderson.
Yeah, the command was so good in the spring. 31 strikes, 26 balls in this one. Getting a call there. Henry Davis.
Chopped off of Anderson's foot. So they signed Tim Anderson in February to a 1-year, $5 million contract, a 2-time All-Star. Coming off the worst year of his career, hit .245 last year. He had reached double-digit homers in each year from 2017 to 21, and fouls another one off. Had 6 homers in 2022. His season was cut short, had a ligament tear in that left middle finger. Struck out a ton last year. Led to the White Sox buying out his $1 million option, a $14 million club option. So they bought it out for $1 million, and now 2-2.
You just don't see a guy, a batting champ, struggles so much. Like that hit gene.
Oh, ball 3.
It's like you have that hit gene when you're leading a league in hitting. And it wasn't, you know, like hitting .299. I mean, he was well over 300.
3-2. Did he go? He did not. Ball 4. And another walk. That's the third for Martin Perez.
Gets at the top of the zone and doesn't get the call. see there, just about belt high.
HN Supermo.
Yeah, you can argue he checked his swing, but you can't argue it wasn't in the zone.
Yasiel Garcia bounced one to Jared Triolo, hit the ball sharply.
No help there. Pitch up out over the plate, above the zone.
One ball and 2 strikes on Garcia. 3 for 11 lifetime against Martin Perez. This 32-year-old veteran who signed a 4-year deal for $53 million in December of 2021 as a free agent to come to Miami with a club option for 2026. Still owed a bunch of money. And bounced to Hayes. 1, 2. Well, that's just 2 outs. Martin Perez thought it was 3. And the fans give it to Yasiel Garcia.
Yeah, he's not a fan favorite. As Hayes so quick, perfect feed to Triolo, and Triolo has looked just great over there turning double plays.
Martin Perez said, yes, let's go to the dugout. Oh, not yet. Got to get one more. Jonah Bride. Played in 40 games with Oakland last year, had a .170. Most of the year AAA Vegas.
Almost identical pitches.
Oh, reaches out on an 0-2 pitch. Lines it into right.
Kind of an old school approach. You get 2 strikes, just look away, protect away. And that changeup, 6 inches off the plate with a bit up.
Look at Henry Davis react to that.
Boy, I
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, how did you hit that pitch?
Cruz gonna force it second. Now go to the dugout. Andrew McCutchen will lead off. We're back in Miami. The Pirates lead 4-1. That's a Jared Triolo, the headband, talking to tomorrow's starting pitcher, the 22-year-old Jared Jones. You'd think he'd be nervous as all get out, but nope, not in the least. Talked to him before the game, and he's going to have a lot of family and friends on hand, but he's prepared for this, he said.
Can't wait.
Yeah. No nerves, and he's always been that way. A very, very confident young man who will make his major league debut tomorrow night. And boy, what a bright future he has starting tomorrow night. He's got electric stuff. He's going to be fun to watch. Ball one on Andrew McCutchen. 22-year-old Whittier, California native. A second-round pick 4 years ago by the Pirates. McCutchen in the air to right. Garcia.
You wonder, do we see triple digits from Jared Jones? He pitches upper 90s.
Yeah, there's so much talk about Paul Skeens in spring training, and understandably so. You know, almost as though Jones kind of flew under the radar. But it's especially when he faced an Atlanta Braves lineup, star-studded lineup, he just made them look silly. That I think they got a lot of national attention. That's tomorrow, late afternoon game, and Edward Olivares. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a 4-10 start tomorrow. He faces another lefty, Ryan Weathers.
Whoa.
Yeah, big exhale.
He has movement on that two-seam fastball that runs in towards the righty, and yeah, anytime you're missing in, especially up. It was nicely placed, but yeah, sometimes you don't pick that up, and when that ball's running up and in on you, you react late, and then you realize, boy, that was closer to my head than I thought.
Fights it off, it lines out. Let's go down to Hannah as Henry Davis steps up.
Well, Greg, Henry Davis has been someone whose discipline and approach to his work have been undeniable this spring. You could see a glimpse of that yesterday when he beat out an infield hit. And then just the other inning here tonight, head down, a lot of hustle, beat out the double play. However, for as much time as Henry spends working on his craft, he's always looking for ways to make the guys around him better. In fact, Jared Triolo told me that last year, after getting major league at-bats and seeing how pitchers at this level attack hitters, one of the first teammates he turned to for advice was none other than Henry Davis. He said that Henry loves looking at all of the numbers and data and talking through that with guys. Triolo said admittedly he doesn't really love looking at the numbers, so he's glad Henry does, but he's very confident in Davis's abilities to steer him in the right direction. Greg, John, you both have been around baseball for a long time. Have you ever seen an athlete in person quite like Henry Davis?
I'll tell you, he is something special to watch in terms of that hustle, Hannah. You are right. He's really angry right now, having watched you call third strike. Bottom of the 5th, 4-1. Pirates lead the Marlins. Yep, Pirates leading the Marlins. Luis Arraez takes strike 1 from Martin Perez, his first Pirate start. Out to left, Reynolds.
Quick and easy. Like to get that leadoff hitter.
See if he can retire Josh Bell. Evens the count.
And that's one big weapon for Perez is with that 2 strikes to locate that fastball right on the inside edge. He's just been missing with it a good bit off the plate in. And he has the curveball, changeup. But I think when he's at his best, he's able to pound that fastball right on that inside edge. He's been just missing tonight.
Well, cracks one to deep right. And Olivares felt that wall was closing in on him, so a double for Bell.
We all know Josh Bell is a big, strong man, and he gets a fastball that's up out over the plate. Takes it to the wall. Pretty content with a double, though. Really wasn't running hard. Home to second.
There's Jake Berger. 5th hit for the Marlins. Bell reached on an error, walk, doubled so far tonight. Two 2-0 on Jake Berger. Berger acquired last summer by these Marlins from the White Sox. And now it's 3-0.
Yeah, tried to change up on that 2-0 pitch, but Berger wasn't fishing. Marlins overall, I think, have done a pretty good job of laying off the changeup from Perez. And when you see so many guys laying off his changeup without flinching, you start wondering, do they got it? You know, can they tell when you're throwing it? You know, guys on both sides are always trying to look to see if they can find something. If the pitcher's tipping.
Chop to Hayes. Long throw to first base and a high throw and another error for Hayes. And it's 1st and 3rd.
It's a deep throw. I mean, this one hopper leaps a bit. He's almost to the outfield grass. And just airmailed it. Yep, you got a guy, Connor Joe, couldn't get up and get there.
It's going to be it for Martin Perez. He's not going to get through 5. And the bullpen going to be activated early for the Pirates. Pirates baseball is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Oh, the bobbleheads galore. The Pirates section there. Maz, Reynolds, Blass, Cervelli. A disappointing start in his Pirates debut. Martin Perez, 4 1/3, 5 hits. Walk 3. Now Brian De La Cruz. This is Ryder Ryan, who makes his Pirates debut.
Sinker slider for Ryder Ryan. Last season, Tacoma, AAA. 48 appearances, a 3.72 ERA, about a strikeout per inning. 1 big league inning last year. This is his 2nd appearance at the major league level.
It was August the 8th last year. Struck out 2 batters and 1 scoreless against the Orioles at Seattle. A 30th round pick by Cleveland. That was 8 years ago. Traded to the Mets for Jay Bruce from Cleveland. Traded to Texas from the Mets for Todd Frazier in August of 20. Pirates signed him as a minor league free agent in December. Non-roster invite. Ooh.
Out in front. Might have been a changeup.
Still 2-2. Pitch sequence here for Ryder Ryan, but he's been throwing De La Cruz this at bat. Just gets a piece of that breaking ball.
Making him work.
And he gets a strikeout in his Pirates debut.
And that's a big out. Coming in with a couple runners on first and third. Look at the movement on that two-seamer. Wow.
Good pitch.
It almost moved the entire width of the plate. Like it started on the outside corner and ended up on the inside corner.
Perfect pitch there to Jazz Chisholm. Wow, a couple of strikes.
Watch the movement here. And you don't see that very often. A hitter chasing a fastball that far below the zone.
The home plate umpire Brian Knight letting Ryder Ryan knows time was called. Jazz Chisholm 0-2. A strikeout and a groundout against the lefty starter Martin Perez. Now Chisholm against Ryder Ryan, making his Pittsburgh Pirates debut and his second big league outing. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. Ryder Ryan out of the University of North Carolina. Played a lot of first and third base in college. And a pitch clock violation on Ryder Ryan makes it 2-2. 1-2 to 2-2 without throwing a pitch. Now it's 2-2, and he strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks for Ryder Ryan with 2 men aboard in the 5th inning. We take a look at our Toyota driving force of the game, and it happened Just a moment ago, Ryder Ryan in his Pirates debut strikes out Brian De La Cruz and Jazz Chisholm with first and third and one out. Henry Davis liked it.
As he should. I mean, coming right at him there, and they're big guys with first and third, one out, 4 and 5 hitters, and coming right at him with that two-seam fastball.
Meanwhile, things have settled down with Brian Hoeing on the hill. He came on in the third inning. A.J. Puck started, and Hoeing takes care of O'Neill Cruz quickly. That's a strikeout number 4, and the second time he's gotten Cruz was the first batter, the second batter rather he faced.
Yeah, that ball must not be picking up the rotation as Hoeing getting Cruz to chase. Pitch well out of the zone.
Oh. Hoeing might have these Marlins reconsidering this whole makeup of
Yeah.
flip-flop.
I tell you
Get
what.
Puck back in the bullpen,
Yeah.
and Hoeing back out there.
He seems to throw that two-seam fastball at the right time. It's heavy. It's got good movement to it. And that breaking ball's sharp. That one breaking more away. We've seen some that were breaking straight down.
Triolo broke his bat on a pitch in the third inning, and hit that ball to the second baseman, Arise, who couldn't handle it initially. And I was able to throw out Triolo, who wasn't sure where the ball was, and now cracks this one to left field, hooking toward the foul pole, and a foul ball. Oh. Blistered off the bat at 107 miles an hour.
Yeah, just looked like maybe a little bit out the front, a little off the end. Too much topspin, too much hook.
See the spin on the HN Supermo. Two and two. Tim Anderson hustling down the line. Triolo, but he's thrown out. 2 up, 2 down. Stay tuned for Pirates Extra Innings immediately following the game here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Rob King, Michael McHenry, and Stephen Brault will have a complete breakdown of the game and in-depth analysis. Michael A. Taylor hit that double off the wall in the 4th inning leading off against Hoeing. And Hoeing has retired 8 straight since. I guess word is out that Stephen Brault is willing to buy your affection. He, well, I guess got everybody pizza at the studio today.
What?
Yeah. 2-1. Of course, he let everybody know about it. Now, back during the pandemic, when we're in the studio, you and I did that several times, and yeah, we got some thank yous, but didn't make a big deal out of it.
Didn't even talk about it.
No, actually never discussed it. In fact, they didn't even know there was free food. They didn't know where it came from.
I mean,
that's kind of how you do it.
Something you do.
Yeah, it's something you do.
Being nice.
Yeah. Ball 4 to Taylor. First walk for Hoeing. And out comes Mel Stottlemyre. Seeing the activity in that bullpen. An extended outing here, of course, for Hoeing. He's done a heck of a job so far for the Pirates. Lefty Josh Fleming is up.
Connor, you figure is going to get a good bit of playing time here this first week with all the lefties. Looking for his first hit.
Strikeout, ground out, fly out so far tonight. 0 for 4 last night. Face off. Reynolds on deck.
Look at the way this is received. Kind of just drops the glove. Takes that pitch out of the zone. It was at the knees.
3-1.
Nobody looking for something to drive.
And he hits it in the air to right center field. He was looking for something to drive, and he drives it to the wall in right center. Connor Joe's first hit of 2024 is an RBI double. 5-1 Bucks in the 6th.
He gets a pitch to drive and goes the other way with it. You know, a lot of times when you get to that count, 3-1 count, you're looking for a pitch to pull with power. Connor Joe goes the other way with power. Fastball elevated, outer third, base of the wall the other way. Michael Taylor, obviously with 2 outs, going all the way, coasting around.
Ball 1 on Brian Reynolds. Now Connor Joe at 11 homers, 42 RBIs with the Pirates last year, and a 760 OPS. An RBI double with 2 outs in this 6th inning. When they are really extending Hoeing in this outing. I can't believe he had many outings this spring, this kind of length. In fact, 2 innings max, what I see, and most pitches thrown this spring. There's a fly ball to right, should be the final out, and it is, but the Pirates get the RBI double from Joe and lead 5-1. 5-1, bottom of the 6th. Pirates up here on the Marlins. Game 2 of the season. Connor Joe, the RBI double. Big 2-out hit. Ryder Ryan delivers to Tim Anderson, who fouls it off. Ryder Ryan came on with runners at first and third, 1 out last inning, and he struck out Brian De La Cruz and Jazz Chisholm in his Pirates debut. And a base hit for Anderson.
Even if O'Neill Cruz comes up with that, just about impossible to throw out Anderson. And he's trying to slide, catch it, stand up and throw. And from that deep, that short, actually a few steps in the left, no chance, even if he comes up with it.
Garcia 0 for 2 against the lefty starter Perez. Perez goes 4 1/3, a run on 5 hits, and walk 3. Ground ball,
Nice and easy.
Cruz, Triolo, Joe, double play, and more boos rain down on Avisail Garcia. It's into his 2nd straight double play. Taylor made.
Yeah, this is so routine. That again, that 2-seamer running in, up and in, tied up, and that ground ball, and that sends the middle infielder towards the bag. It's almost automatic.
Strike 1 on Jonah Bride. Walk and a single against Perez. Still 0-2. 6th inning. Pirates up on the Marlins 5-1. And A.J. Puck all kind of wild in his first start of his big league career. And here's Hayes. And 8 pitches for Ryder Ryan. Bucks up by a 5-1 score in Miami going to the 7th inning. And we invite you to follow Sportsnet Pittsburgh on social, Instagram, X, and TikTok channels on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. So Birch Smith will be the new pitcher facing Ke'Bryan Hayes. And time called here. Something has to be retrieved out in the outfield. Birch Smith was not used last night. 33-year-old veteran.
Oh, that's a nice and easy 95. First pitch at 96. And goes to 97. Just missing.
High chopper, deep short, and that'll be a likely hit, you would think, for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Tim Anderson, long throw, pulls Berger off the bag.
Yeah, I think maybe he thought that the third baseman was going to get there. Is, you know, your only chance there is to get set up on the backhand, catch it, and let it go. You know, the way he tried to throw that on the run. Hayes has enough speed. He's going to beat that all the time. Maybe if you catch it, plant and throw.
That's headed toward the foul ground and right, and Garcia makes the catch. Andrew McCutchen flies out in foul ground.
Feeling for that wall. Just enough room. You're just hoping, please go foul. Please go into the seats.
Jack Sawinski pinch hitting now for Edward Olivares. Has not started the first two games against lefties. Sawinski pinch hit in the 8th inning last night and grounded out, and then a second time up in the 10th was walked intentionally. Stayed in the game to play left. Fly ball shallow center. Diving catch for the second consecutive night. That one even better by Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Off the bat, thought it was going to drop in for Jack. See how far he has to go. Has to stretch out and just able to glove that just above the turf.
Henry Davis, one of 3 walks in that second inning against A.J. Puck, and scored on a bases loaded walk. Jared Triolo on the backhand pick by Bethancourt, and tries to pick off Hayes.
And again, with 2 outs, I mean, it's easy to start leaning when you see that ball in the dirt, or maybe even just one crossover. You think it might get by at the very least. The catcher's not going to be able to pick it, but Bethancourt was able to pick it, and fortunately Hayes didn't cross over and was able to get back.
2-1 on Davis. Upset with himself there.
Yeah, he got a pretty good swing off. Elevated fastball. Got over the plate. Letting it fly just underneath.
Tight near the groin. Henry Davis grabs a handful of dirt. Full count. Bert Smith appearing in a big league game for the first time in 3 years. 33 years old, just acquired a couple of days ago from Tampa Bay, who had signed him to a minor league deal in January. And a ground ball, base hit for Henry Davis. 2 on. 2 outs for O'Neill Cruz.
Just finding a hole. Little slider. Nicely placed.
Henry Davis on base for a second time, his second hit of the young season. O'Neill Cruz is 1 for 3. His hit came off the lefty starter Puck. Bert Smith, 33 years old. Again, in the big leagues tonight for the first time since 2021, when he appeared in 31 games with Oakland. A 6.03 career ERA over parts of 5 big league seasons. One and one. Five-1 Bucks. Hits even at 7 apiece. 2-1.
You know, he's looking for that heater, looking for a good fastball in the zone. Might not get it.
3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 to Cruz.
How about that? Huh. That's respect. 3-1, you get an off-speed pitch when you got 97 in the tank.
Pop up to shallow left field. That's dropping and drops in for another hit. O'Neill Cruz heads to second. Another hit the other way for O'Neill Cruz. This one brings home Hayes, and the Pirates take a 6-1 lead.
And again, the importance of putting the ball in play. And that's just another breaking ball that's up in the zone, kind of ties them up a little bit, but goes to no man's land. You put the ball in play, sometimes you get breaks.
6-1. RBI single for Cruz, goes to second on the throw, and now here's Jared Triolo. Can he deliver a knockout punch? Tried to there. A walk and a couple of ground outs. Had the game-winning hit last night in the 12th inning. And a couple of strikes on him. Hayes scored on the Cruz single. Hayes started this inning with the infield hit. Davis to third. Big tree against Birch. Smith. Still 0-2.
Funny, that first batter he faced, it's fastball, fastball, fastball. Now it's nothing but off-speed pitches.
Another 0-2. And a pop-up. Should do it. That's the final out, but another run in as O'Neill Cruz delivers. 6-1 Buccos. Six to 1. Head to the bottom of the 7th inning. This pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust. And Josh Fleming, who in his Pirates debut last night, a 1-pitch final out of the 6th inning, got Luis Arraez to bounce out. A great bullpen work last night, and tonight Ryder Ryan in his Bucco debut, 1 2/3 scoreless, 1 infield hit.
Looking to get the ground ball. Lots of ground balls from Fleming. Over 60% of the time.
Two 2-0. Bethencourt, Arraez, and then Josh Bell. Fleming, Tampa Bay Ray for previous 4 years.
Yeah, I like to see it, by the way, get behind 2-0. Little backdoor breaking ball for strike 1, comes right at him. 2-1 to get back to even.
Saw the numbers last year, 12 appearances, 3 starts. Still 2-2. Full count. The strikeout. That strikeout was presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Big K from Fleming.
And that's the late movement. I mean, that pitch was well below the zone, but gets the chase on the sinking fastball.
Rise 0 for 3. Starts out this season hitless in 9 at bats. And Henry Davis out to talk to Fleming. Hannah has more on Josh Fleming.
Greg, Josh Fleming is new to the clubhouse this year. Like you said, he was previously with the Rays, but the fresh perspective is helping him revive his arsenal. He said one of the first conversations he had with pitching coach Oscar Marine when he got here was to find his identity, and part of that was bringing back his cutter, which I believe was just the first pitch he threw this inning. He also said he knows he's not a high velocity guy, so something that works for him is using the pitch clock to his advantage. He said that way he can work fast and make guys uncomfortable in the box. So Greg, pay attention to how quick he likes to work on the mound.
Hannah, thank you. And the 3-0 is coming to Arise, and a strike. There's the Pirates pitching coach, Oscar Marine. Full count.
And once again, getting back into the count, fell behind 2-0 the leadoff batter. 3-0 here to Arise.
You walked him. And it's Josh Bell again. Bunch of those cutters and that changeup in the dirt. Josh Bell doubled over the head of Olivares in the 5th inning. Oh. 2-0.
You hope to get something in there, something sinking. You serve up a bunch of grounders, get a grounder from Bell at somebody, that'll be a double play ball.
And now 3-1, didn't offer. Full count on Josh Bell. Career .247 hitter from this side of the plate. .265 as a lefty batter. And a ground ball. 6-4-3. John said if he gets a ground ball, it'll be a double play.
Beautiful.
Oneil Cruz with a huge smile after that double play the last inning. He talked about just how happy he is to be back playing after that season-ending injury last April.
It always feels good to be back with this group. I have to, tell you one thing. It was a lot of tough moments last year not be able to be on the field. But now that I'm out there, it's all good, and I'm happy to go out there and help our team, win and be in a good spot.
He definitely did help the team win last night when his opposite field home run tied the game and forced extra innings. Greg, John, we got to watch him during batting practice this past month, and he hit a team high 7 home runs this spring as well. How enamored are you both with the way that he can not only swing the bat, but then we get to see him defensively as well?
He's got skills that most don't have. It's pretty amazing. And batting practice is fun to watch because he can hit the ball obviously a very, very long way. There's just not very many players who can hit it as hard, as far. Not many players who can throw it as hard. For a big man, has above average speed. He has all-star player talent. It's just about the experience and the consistency. Doesn't help that he missed a full season, but he's looking pretty good despite the fact that he's been away so long.
Michael A. Taylor goes down against Bert Smith. 1 out in the 8th. And Hannah talking about Cruz helping last night. That home run tonight. Last inning, the RBI single. He's got a couple of hits in this one. Connor Joe, big RBI double his last time up. And another hit for him. Connor Joe.
Just an all-around good player. I mean, smart approach at the plate. Always plays hard. Never keep an eye on him on defense. Every pitch he's ready.
Strike on Reynolds. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. We're talking about Reynolds at 99 home runs. That home run last night. So 1 away from 100 in his Pirates career. Line drive, base hit. This will put runners at first and third and set up shop for Ke'Bryan Hayes. And that might not seem like a whole bunch in the scheme of things, but John, you and I were talking before the game, when you consider this Pirates team now playing their 138th year in the National League, there have only been 24 players in Pirates history that have hit 100 or more home runs.
That's amazing. You think there have been some sluggers, some power hitters on this club. You would think all that time there'd be more than 25.
There have been 2,059 players wear a Pirates uniform. 24 have hit 100 homers. Of course, Andrew McCutchen on deck. He is one of them. McCutchen is 4th on the all-time Pirates home run list. Ke'Bryan Hayes 1-1. Looking for more insurance here. Try and put this one away. Fly ball to right, plenty deep. Garcia makes the catch. Sac fly for Hayes. And a 7-1 lead.
Just keep tacking them on. 2 in the second, 2 in the third. And you mix in 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Add another one on here in the 8th. Hanging breaking ball. Hayes just staying with it, getting it in the air the other way. It's an easy RBI for him. Andrew still looking for his first hit in this series. Figured a bit of a late start in spring training. Not a lot of at-bats. Still trying to get the timing down.
Chases. Pirates get another and lead 7-1. Productive night for Ke'Bryan Hayes, and the Pirates lead 7-1. Hayes on base 3 times and a sacrifice fly, an RBI double. Rowdy Tellez takes over at first base for Connor Joe. Jake Berger. Jack Sawinski had a pinch hit in the 7th and stayed in the game to play left, and Brian Reynolds moved to right, similar to last night's late inning alignment. And Reynolds made that catch in right to end the ball game in the bottom of the 12th. Fleming falls behind 3-0. Just a scoreless 7th for Josh Fleming. Three and two.
Fell behind a few batters. His first inning worked at Fleming, falling behind here 3-0, but he's done a nice job of coming back, getting into the count.
Stays 3-2 on Berger. We saw Soriano last night. He's going to pitch again here tonight in the 9th. And Fleming comes back after being down in the count. 3-0 to Jake Berger and strikes him out. 2 Ks for Fleming.
It's a beautiful thing. Again, late movement. Just the sink, a little bit of sink below the bat. Swings over top of it. That's the one thing you look at the Pirates tonight's game. You know, a lot of soft contact, a lot of ground balls. Just 2 balls in the air for outs.
De La Cruz. 2 hits and a strikeout. There's one in the air to Taylor. Deep, but with room. Just enough room to put it away. So Fleming looking for the final out now here in the 8th inning against Jazz Chisholm Jr. Fleming grew up outside the St. Louis area. Pirates signed him to a 1-year contract in February as a free agent.
You start wondering, is he stretched out enough to maybe go 3 and pick up a save?
Yeah, they'd probably love to stay away from anybody else. Give Bednar an extra, not that you'd need Bednar anyway, but love to give Bednar another night off. And you'd be able to do that if you kept this large lead. Fleming made a dozen appearances last year with the Rays, made 3 starts. 3-2. 3 years ago, he started 11 games out of his 26 appearances. Strikes out Chisholm. 2 scoreless for Fleming. We're going to the 9th now. 7-1 Pirates. Last night, 6-5 victory in 12 innings. Jack Sawinski will lead off his 2nd at bat. Pinch hit in the 7th against Burge Smith and was robbed of a hit by Jazz Chisholm in center. George Soriano. Soriano faced 4 Pirate hitters last night and retired 1. A walk and 2 hits.
Has a pretty good arm, averages about 95 with his fastball. Likes the slider and the change. That's the slider.
Might be able to beat this one out. Good play by Soriano. You saw Sawinski digging down that line, and we saw Henry Davis do it. We've seen it a lot. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Sprint speed yesterday 28.4 feet per second, and tonight 28.7, both above the league average.
League average for all players, not just catchers. So,
yeah,
you know,
keep that in mind. Yanks that one foul right down the middle. And the first pitch to Henry Davis. He's been on base twice. Takes another slider, this time up. Well, in answer to John's question earlier, Fleming is stretched out enough. They are going to give him a chance to pick up a 3-inning save.
It's a beautiful thing. Henry ends up chasing a heater off the plate. Now you think about the use last night. The bullpen did such a great job. 6 1/3 scoreless. Out here again tonight, a bunch of zeros. So Fleming can get through the 9th. Will pick up a save. And more importantly, perhaps, rest the bullpen. Something the Marlins were not able to do. They've needed a bunch of work from their bullpen guys, like last night.
Cruz chases. And he is called out on the pitch clock violation. So it goes as a strikeout. Josh Fleming looks for the last 3 outs. Seven-1 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, look as though he's getting a ribbing from Rowdy Tellez. And there's the pitch clock violation. You got to be set and ready and attentive to the pitcher with 8 seconds. And he wasn't. Maybe not happy with the previous pitch.
Well, you got to remember too, O'Neill Cruz didn't play much.
That's right.
Last year, so
yeah.
He's experienced the pitch clock for much less time than most of these other guys. You know, he hasn't had that many at bats with the pitch clock.
Meanwhile, Josh Fleming, 2 scoreless and getting a chance here for a very rare 3-inning save. Only twice last year, all season, did a Pirates pitcher deliver a 3-inning save. Roansy Contreras was the last in June, late June, and Will Crow, the former Pirate, in April, a 3-inning save. There were only 38 total in all of baseball last year.
Oh, wow.
Be the second save of his career, and that ball ate up O'Neill Cruz.
Yeah, well, not many people want to stay in front of something like that. You know, it's hit right at him, but he kind of turns away and tries to read the hop.
103 miles an hour.
Yep, very hard hit. There's not many guys getting in front of that.
Well, Garcia.
3 ground balls tonight,
including 2 double plays. And he's been hearing it from the hometown fans. This will be his second career save for Josh Fleming. His other save was also of the 3-inning variety. And there's a ground ball. Oh, and O'Neill Cruz can't handle it. A double play ball instead. Garcia reaches.
Yep, thought we were going to get another double play ball. And he's kind of sitting back on it. It comes up, hits the heel of his glove. For database today. Did I hear that right?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, I thought I heard behind me, but
oh, it does say single on the official MLB at bat.
Wow. There have been some balls that have come up on Pirate infielders. You know, Key Brian Hayes had one come up on him back in the first. That one comes up on O'Neill Cruz.
Oscar Marine paid Fleming a visit. Jonah Bride. Last night's closer. The man who saved the game, his first career save, Jose Hernandez. Pops it up. Infield fly. Now the batter is automatically out. 1 away. Rowdy Tellez. Now Bethancourt, who is 0 for 3. Pirates have out hit the Marlins 10-9. Lead by 6. Drilled to left. Foul. Again, Josh Fleming. One pitch last night. Got the last out of the 6th inning. 50 pitches so far, and this is 3rd inning of work. Henry Davis guns it down to second base.
Thought for a second, maybe. That strong arm of Davis.
It's away, and a wild pitch.
Couldn't White get over there to get that body in front of it. Kind of kicked up, maybe hit the left arm.
Check swing foul. Of course, the infield is back. They're looking for the second out. Any way they can get it. Look out, Tim Anderson. David Bednar now up. Full count.
You would think if you can't get Bethancourt, we might see Hernandez for a rise.
Off the end of the bat, little dribbler. Second out. Run in. 7-2. And now Fleming faces the reigning batting champion, who walked against Fleming in the 7th inning, but has started this season hitless. In his first 9 at-bats. Worst start previously in his career, 0 for 2.
Wow, that's amazing.
Strike one. Fleming's last save and only other save in his major league career, August 22nd, 2021. Line drive, and that'll do it. Raise the Jolly Roger and Josh Fleming. A 3-inning save. The Pirates start 2024 a perfect 2-0.
That's a great start. That's a great start. Nice patient at bats from the get-go from the Pirate hitters of being opportunistic. As A.J. Puck, the Marlins starter, had some serious control issues. So nice to give your starter, Martin Perez, a nice little lead early. And he pitched pretty well. Just gives up the one. Got the pitch count up a little bit. Only able to go 4 1/3, but the bullpen again comes in and does a magnificent job. It helps that your offense can tack a run on here, another run on there. But the bullpen able to shut this one down.
You know, last year's Pirates team that started off sizzling through April, that began the year 20-8, actually started out in Cincinnati losing 2 of their first 3. They were 1-2 after 3 games of the 2023 season. Now 2 games in, they are 2-0. And Ryder Ryan, who came on for a strong 1 2/3 scoreless innings. Ryder Ryan, in his debut, gets his first big league win. Josh Fleming with the save. Let's go down to Hannah.
A 3-inning save for you, Flem, the second of your career. What was it like to put an exclamation point on this one for the team?
That was fun. That's probably my first back-to-back coming out of the bullpen in my entire career. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Hey, 3 scoreless for you as well. You mentioned when you came to the Pirates, the conversation you had was to revive your arsenal. How good do you feel about the pitches in your pocket right now?
I mean, I had the feel in the bullpen today, obviously, at the start. Struggled a little bit finding the strike zone, but, you know, Hank back there, he settled me down a little bit, and we were able to kind of get it working in the last couple innings. So.
Henry Davis, the young guy, settled you down. What did he say to you to do that?
He just said, hey, you're finishing this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He was like, just focus up, and you got this, and that's all it took.
Hey, back-to-back strong games now from the bullpen. How confident does this group feel?
I mean, we feel great right now. Obviously, 2-0 starts. That's nice to have, and bullpen's feeling good. I think anytime one of us goes out there, we expect zeros, and so far, it's been pretty good. So.
The last time the defense turned 4 double plays in a single game was 2022. How much more confident can you be on the mound with those guys supporting you?
I mean, it's great. Obviously, we got Key at third, Gold Glover. You know, O'Neill's a monster out there. He can get to anything. Defense has been really good so far these first couple games. Outfield's been good, so you know, us pitchers, we know anytime the ball's put in play, defense behind us is going to make the play.
Hey, congrats on the win tonight. The Buccos are 2-0, Greg.
Thank you, Hannah. And Josh Fleming with that 3-inning save. And the Pirates again start out again 2-0, and Ryder Ryan with his first major league win. Well, what a start to 2024. A lot of firsts and a lot more to come. Great work from the bullpen once again. Back-to-back games. The Pirates defeat the Miami Marlins. Look to make it 3-0 tomorrow. A lot more to talk about. We're headed back to the studio for post-game. It'll be Rob King, Michael McHenry, and Stephen Brault. Pirates beat the Fish 7-2 on a Good Friday.